Portraits is the third full-length from post-black metal band Aodon. And I say post-black metal, I probably mean something a little bit closer to melodic black metal, but a modern version of it, which is sort of built from some tradition and non-tradition within the French black metal headspace, but probably more related to modern acts. Like if we think of it's hard to compare necessarily, but the more modern touch of like Iwata, Derwegeiner, Freiheit, and even a little bit of Harakiri for the Sky, but less sentimental, less, this band would fit in pretty well on like AOP records or something like that, where there's not quite the dissection-esque touch and not quite the floaty atmospheric side of it, but there is certainly an aggressive melodic side to this group that is emphasized on this record in a way that expands upon what they're doing on 11069 back in 2020. It was a record that I'd reviewed and I enjoyed, and I was pretty interested to see where they went with this one. So let's cut into a song and see what this is all about. So there's a couple. So there's a sort of juxtaposition happening here between theme and the actual listening experience. Where, if you sit with this record, it is engaging. It is a sort of a tunnel through. It is a run-on sentence that kind of combines and links each of these pieces in terms of pacing and melody and the force at which they kind of kick through all of them. And there's a couple of sleepier moments. There's a couple of heavier moments. There's a lot of dizzying things happening here with some a lot of variety. And the theme of the record is basically this. Each song is essentially a study of a character and the folly of human nature. Definitely the flawed nature of humanity is sort of baked into existence, is kind of the part of the conversation that's happening here. So there's a singular narrator for all these stories that has this consistent voice, but each song conveys a different sort of experience. And I don't know that they fully made the connection between fully characterizing each person within each song. That would be maybe a little bit more choppy and hard to read, but this is kind of just a very consistent run through sort of album, which creates it feels very good on repeat. That's kind of the reason why I reviewed it, was because there's a pleasure to listening to this record front to back and on repeat, and that's a big plus for me in the experience. So I don't know that I like the sort of cinematic values of this type of music in most cases, but I think that there's sort of enough going on here to where I think the someone who's is willing to go into the post black metal side of things, that is still aggressive, still black metal in most cases, or at least atmospheric black metal or melodic, you'll find that there's a lot more to glean from it than prettiness. So there's a lot of aggression here that I appreciated, and it's a fairly high score. It's a high recommendation. I think that this I've kind of gone back and forth with this record a few times. At times the score was higher, at times the score is lower. So this is sort of a general average of the experience. I feel like I said the immersion was very strong, but the moment by moment statement I kind of waffled on here and there. So this score will likely change over time, but for now, a high recommendation. I think it's worth giving it a listen, and go read a little bit more of what I have to say on the review for more details and kind of style notes, basically. So check it out.